Hello and welcome to Die Rolling. I'm the ever excitable Adam, and you know what? It occurred to me that it's the end of the world as we know it, but you know what? I feel fine. We're here today to talk about Broken Planet. In Broken Planet, every player represents a scavenging tribe. Their forefathers' greed for growth and technical advancement has left the world crumbling. The once idolized gods of the Broken Planet are holding the last pieces of the planet together, but they can't hold much longer. The gods decided that the weight of one tribe is the only thing the Broken Planet can hold while it heals. Other tribes will perish at the hand of the gods for the sake of their world. The tribe that is most favored by the gods will continue living and growing together with the planet. Tribes will simultaneously choose and visit islands with their compass for collecting gemstones. While other tribes are still in search of gemstones, one tribe will be offering their collected gemstones to the gods via an ancient tablet. These offerings grant many different perks. Gods construct impressive temples, craft mysterious relics, and assault islands to steal relics from rival tribes. Recognizing the goals of other tribes is critical to sabotage them and to become the tribe with the most favor. On the last offer phase, the gods will descend to Earth for judgment, accepting each tribe's last offerings and sparing the most favored tribe. Broken Planet by Pigeon Games is a really interesting themed game. So the world is on the brink of destruction, and the last tribes that remain are essentially praying to their gods for favors that then they're hoping that somehow the gods will save them. And the gods have gone, you know what, we can save one tribe, so let's see who worships us the most. And we're going to help them out along the way to, gods have their own games and things like that. So they're going to help you attack other people. You're trying to get the most favor, and to do that, you're going to be constructing temples to the gods, you're going to be building relics, and you're going to be stealing said relics off of other players. This is a really interesting cat and mouse / hide and seek game where from the games I play, you never really feel that safe in this. Everyone gets a turn at trying to claim back the relics that you might have just stolen off them. You've got to plan out a couple of turns ahead because you need to think about what gems you're going to need, what kind of resources you're going to need to be able to construct the temples that you need so that you can get the favor you want, but also have enough in the bank so that you can then use some of those resources against your fellow players, or use some of those resources to build relics to help you get that favor. And also, when you're building these temples, you're going to be placing these temples down on particular islands. And anyone who goes to that island who hasn't built a temple this turn is going to get double points with it. They're essentially going to be getting whatever resources are listed down on the island, they're going to be getting. So the more temples you put out, the more resources people get in. And you're not necessarily going to be the one getting those resources. So you're kind of helping other people out, helping yourself out, but assisting the collective group. And there can be lines drawn in this game where people get angry. This is a competitive game. It's quite easy to pick up. It's simple enough to teach. Very fun mechanics, but it is going to anger some people. So, like a warning here: if you are triggered by feeling you're being picked on in some games, I would definitely not recommend playing this 3-player. When I play games with people, sometimes, depending who I'm playing with, there's like an unwritten rule that, there's no confrontation happening. So like, for instance, if I was playing a game with Jamie, there's like an unwritten rule that we don't really confront each other unless you have to in the game. And if we were playing this game with Will, who likes to just attack as soon as he can, I could really imagine that would cause a bit of a rift there. So that's, if you're a person who takes offense easily, or if you feel like games can be a bit unfair for you, this might not be something that you'd enjoy 3-player. And I've seen through the games I've played, I've not played this with Jamie and Will, but I've seen through the games I've played of this that people could take offense to your actions. You will make enemies in this game. But 4-player game, though, is where this game shines. No one feels like they're being, specifically picked on. It's all quite balanced. But do you know what? Even if you're quite a laid-back person like myself, you'll probably enjoy the three-player game as well. Now, I feel like I've said a massive negative here, and it's worth pointing out because a lot of games these days, you're going to be seeing. There's a lot of choice these days out of games you can play. I mean, there's a few behind me here, and not everyone enjoys a really competitive game where there's a take that element. And this game has a take that element because you're so focused on your own little little route to godhood or being saved, as it were, that you might not always be aware of what all the other players are doing. And if you've saved up resources and you've not been antagonistic towards people maybe, but you've got resources and you buy yourself some relics, and then for them just to then take it off you, it can leave a very bitter pill in your mouth. And I'm smiling about it because it's a fun game if you go into this knowing there is a take that element and you are going to annoy people. Maybe not meaning to annoy them, but you definitely will annoy some people. The components for this game are great. This is a prototype, and it's always lovely to get a prototype where it just looks great. Like it's a prototype in some ways, but most of the components there are top notch, and I can only imagine what the actual final quality of this is going to be like. I mean, the box art itself, really love that. That's great. And I just like the simplicity of all the design in there. It's very easy to understand how to buy things, where you can pick up those items, those resources to be able to buy those things. And yeah, it's just quite an intuitive system. The only negatives, like I say, is it can feel like you can get, what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of sideswiped, like blindsided, because you might not see someone coming for you, and when it happens, it's too late. And one of the guys I played with, he said there's no point making relics because actually they're just, make you a target and they can be stolen. And to be fair, at the games we played of this, that I could see that's a good point. But I think this is a game that you could get out, play several times, and still get a great game out of this. This is one to open up with a bunch of friends and see what falls out the end of it. It's one to play a board game cafe with some strangers maybe. Yeah, it's a really fun game. I really enjoyed my time with this, and we will hopefully be covering a actual gameplay video of this. I did have a gameplay video. Unfortunately, my camera decided not to record any of it, so I can only give you a little bit of an overview from my own personal thoughts from this. But hopefully in the not too distant future, because I know their Kickstarter's starting maybe today, depending on when this goes out. I'd love to get a video up for them so you can see how we do playing this and kind of just get a general idea of how the game plays. I will say that if you want to have a look at how this game plays, they have a great how to play video. It's 6 minutes long, and it gives you a good idea of exactly what kind of gameplay mechanics are in there. But gameplay wise, you've got one player is going to be doing and this rotates, but one player will be doing all of the, they'll be offering these gems to gods to be able to build their temples. They're going to be crafting relics, and they're also going to be attacking the other players. And that's the three things they can do on their turn. Whilst that's all going on, simultaneously, as the other players at the table, you'll be collecting gems. You're going to be trying to use hidden movement to get yourself to particular islands which have the gems you want. So you're going to be using these little cool dials. You're going to be putting down where they are and hopefully avoiding any attacks that come your way. So, and like I say, this all rotates, so you're not going to be on the defensive the entire time. It's quite quick to rotate. But yeah, that's generally how the game plays. I would highly recommend checking out that video, and I'll probably put a link into it below so you can just have a quick look at that and see what you think. I definitely say take a look at this Kickstarter. I have had a real good time with this, and I'm really looking forward to playing this with Jamie and Will, and we'll see if we're still friends at the end of it, I guess. Well, thank you for taking the time to watch this. I'm sorry there's not much more in the way of footage for this game, but from my perspective, this is a really fun enjoyable title that you can play with your buddies or frenemies. Never with you. I mean, you're not going to sit down and play a board game with your enemy, but maybe you did. And if you did, maybe this is the game for you. Thank you for watching this. I will be back with, this is kind of like a first impression video, so I'll be back with a full review score for this. And our reviews are very much like buy, play, or avoid. But yeah, I kind of want to sit down with Jamie and Will, hash this out at the table, and see what our general collective thoughts are for this. But from my side, my first impression of this, I'm very much on a, I would back this Kickstarter. It's quite an interesting game for me, and it's one that I've got a couple of people I play board games with now locally, and that's something I'd like to play with those people and those groups and see how we all cope with that. And this plays up to 5 players, which is something I'd really like to see how that works, because 4-player, like I say, felt like the sweet spot. I haven't played 5-player yet, so maybe we'll see if we can get a 5-player game going on, and I'll come back with an updated feedback on that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I've been the ever excitable Adam, and we're Die Rolling. So if you've enjoyed this video, then please check out all our litany of other stuff we have, and we've got plenty more in the pipeline. Fridays are the solo plays where you see me try to play a game correctly, and I get about 80% of the rules correctly on a good day. It's still enjoyable though. And we have reviews midweek, and we have unboxings most Mondays. We've still got games coming in. We've still got games we've ordered or we've got review copies, so we unbox those for your viewing pleasure. Until next time, guys, please make sure you check out all of our lovely social media, so our Instagram, Facebook, and of course YouTube, and make sure that you stay safe and keep rolling.